Episode number 125. Hello, you're listening to the Career Changemaker podcast. Having the courage to leave a career that you have worked hard to build and try something else can be tough. So in each episode, we dive into key career change strategies so that you have a clear understanding of what is required to transition into a new role or a new industry without feeling like you have to start at the bottom or have to take a massive pay cut, because ain't nobody got time for that. If you are ready for frank and honest discussions about how to become a career change maker, keep listening. I'm your host, lawyer turned career strategist and executive coach, Janine Esbrand. Are you eager to get unstuck and figure out what you would actually like to do with your career next? Have you been going around in circles trying to figure it out but getting no further forward? If so, you're going to love today's sponsor, my signature group program, the Career Clarity Academy. Changing career direction can feel overwhelming and daunting, but it doesn't have to be. In my signature program, we give you clear, step-by-step, proven processes for getting completely clear on what it is that you want to do and understanding how you can leverage your existing experience and position yourself to attract and land a dream role. To find out more, head over to lightboxcoaching.com/academy. So tonight, I'm jumping on to talk to you about why it's important to stop saying that they won't hire you. Now, to give you some context, I was talking to someone this past week about what it is that's holding them back from making a move and actually putting themselves out there and looking at making the career transition that they're saying they really want to make. And what came up was one of her fears is that they won't hire her. And that's kind of one of the things that's stopping her from putting herself out there. So I wanted to dive into that topic today because I think that the fact that she said it, and I've heard it from lots of other people, means that there may well be lots of you out there who are considering making a career change. And this is one of the things that's holding you back, or one of the things that you worry about or you're concerned about. So I want to share with you a different perspective. So my name is Janine Esbrand, and I am a career coach and an executive coach. And I help mid-level career professionals to change career direction, to use and leverage the experience that they already have and redirect it so that they can find job satisfaction and really love the work that they're doing without having to retrain. So that's what I do in a nutshell. And so I wanted to talk about this topic because I think it is really important. There's so many things that can hold you back from taking steps and moving forward. And this is one of them. So when someone says, okay, I don't want to put myself out there because I don't think they're going to hire me, I think it's important to really look at where that thought or that belief is coming from. Because whatever it is that you believe around what's possible is going to really impact the action that you take. So if you are saying to yourself, and if you are saying to others, I don't think they're going to hire me, then that's a reflection of what you actually believe. And then that's a reflection of where your mindset is. So the question really is that true? What is that based on? Because oftentimes, if I am having this conversation with you in the same way that I was with this person the other day, the point in the journey at which we're having this conversation is when you are just considering. You're just considering making a career move. You don't even know yet what it is that you want to do. You're not quite sure what the next steps are. So at this stage right now, you're just thinking about making a move. But one of the things that is holding you back and some of the fear that's coming up for you is they won't hire me. But if you're at the stage where you're only just thinking about making a career move or making a career change, you don't yet know who they are. That the term they, like, who is they? Who are we referring to? Because when you say they won't hire me, at this stage right now, you haven't really decided where it is you want to go. You haven't decided what type of role you want to move into next. So when you're saying they, who exactly are we talking about? Right? So if you don't even know who you're talking about when you say they won't hire me, then how do you know they won't hire you? Like, how do you know? Have you had a conversation? Have you actually applied for anything? Have you actually put yourself out there and had a rejection yet? Probably not, if you're at this early stage where you're just thinking about it. So then if you're saying to yourself, they won't hire me, but yet you haven't really got any evidence around that, then you have to ask yourself, well, what is the real reason? If I'm saying that it's because I think they won't hire me, is that really the reason? Because I don't actually have evidence to support that yet. And even if you are at the stage where you have started putting yourself out there, and you have started applying and you are getting rejection, because you've got a rejection from that one company doesn't mean you're going to get a rejection from every company. So I think it's really important to start thinking about, what are we telling ourselves? What words are we saying? And how are those words serving us in terms of the ultimate goal that we want to achieve? Because if you are in a position where you know what it is you want to do, and you understand what is required for you to get there, then you can do the work to figure out, well, are there any gaps? Is there anything that I need to be doing in order for me to position myself for that type of opportunity? But if you are sitting there telling yourself over and over again that I'm not going to be able to move because no one's going to be able to hire me, you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to get into the game. You're not even giving yourself the opportunity to go before anybody who would consider whether or not they want to hire you. So if you are kind of at that stage now, I just want to encourage you to take a moment to really think about, like, where is this thought process coming from? Because even if you take it a step further and say, okay, the reason why I feel like they're not going to hire me is because I don't have the relevant experience. So I've been working in my industry for a number of years. I've been doing what I've been doing for some time, and I only know what I know. And I've only been doing what I've been doing. So if I'm considering making a career pivot and doing something either slightly different within my industry, or I'm considering doing something completely different, I don't have the experience in that thing. And that's the reason why they won't hire me. So if that's where your mindset is, and you're saying, well, I don't have the experience, so they won't hire me, then I want you to think about, well, whatever role you had the first time you got a role, you didn't have experience for that role. So you probably studied, you probably dedicated a lot of time and energy into getting your qualifications. You may have had to go through a training program. So if you was a lawyer, you would have done a training contract. If you were, some kind of professional, you might have gone through a period where you had training. But when you first took your first role, you didn't have experience. So there was a time where you had to do it for the first time, right? And if you have been in a position where you've had a promotion and you've moved from doing one type of role, and maybe you've gone from being an associate to being a senior associate, or you've gone and you've moved up. When you moved up to that next level, you didn't have the same experience, right? You had experience in the role that you were doing before, then you moved up and you had to adapt, you had to acclimatize, you had to learn what it is you had to do, and then you had to get on with it. So what is it that enabled you to start that first role, even though you didn't have prior experience, or go into a role at a high level, even though you didn't have prior experience? So when it comes down to, I don't have the experience that is going to be required, and that's why I don't think anyone's going to hire me, and that's why I think I need to stay in this role, and that's why I feel stuck, then ask yourself, has there been a time in your professional career so far where you've done something that you've never done before and you did it well and you succeeded? I'm guessing probably yes. Most of the people are very accomplished, people who have worked really hard, who have done a lot in your career so far. So I'm guessing that the answer is yes. But the problem that a lot of us face is that we are so afraid of tooting our own horns and really speaking up about our experience and really talking about our accolades that we go so far the other way, where we don't even want to talk about it to ourselves. Like, we don't want to tell ourselves that we've done a good job. So let's not even talk about the fact that you don't want to shout about it to everybody else. But when it comes to the conversations that you're having with yourself, you're not even willing to say, do you know what? Job well done. Like, yeah, I did that. It's more about, downplaying things. Like, how many times has someone given you a compliment, and instead of you just saying thank you, you have to qualify it? So, oh, I love your dress. Oh, this whole thing, I've had it for ages. Or, oh, you did a really good job on that transaction or that project. Well done. Oh yeah, it was a team effort. It wasn't just me. There were other people involved. Like, you just take the compliment. Take the compliment. And the reason why it's important to start paying attention to what you're doing when you say things like that, or you do things like that, is you are not giving yourself enough credit for what it is that you have actually done. And when someone's giving you a compliment, or someone's saying to you, you've done a good job, and you're jumping in and saying, oh, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that a big deal. Like, it was just a little thing. It's like you're downplaying what you have brought to the table. You're downplaying the value that you have been able to add to a particular project or experience, right? And so when you're downplaying that, it's really hard down the line when you're saying, okay, I need to be able to demonstrate to someone else that I can bring value to an organization. It's really hard for you to just switch that on. If you are constantly telling yourself that, what I do is not that great, or it's not that hard, anyone can do it, then when you are required to really step up and say, look, this is why you should hire me, this is why I am the right candidate for the role, it's hard. It's hard to do that because you're going from a place of not even believing it for yourself to then trying to convince somebody. So the reason why it's really important for you to stop saying they won't hire me is because if you don't believe for yourself that you are worthy of being hired for a particular role or at a particular level or in a particular industry, how are you going to convince somebody else? Like, how are you going to be able to convince someone else that you are the right candidate for a role if you are not able to convince yourself? So even if you're not there yet, even if you're not, you might be saying, yeah, but I just don't feel that confidence. I just don't feel that confidence. Even if you're not there yet, the first step is really for you to check your thoughts and check what it is that you're saying so that you can replace that, so that you're not telling yourself, oh no, I can't do this. I can't do this. And you're saying, do you know what? It might be that I don't have all of the experience that is required, but what do I have to offer? Because sometimes in a situation, it isn't so much about, what experience do you have? It's more about what results can you bring? So the reason why someone can get promoted and be doing a role that they've never done before is because they've demonstrated before that they can get results. They've demonstrated before that they can bring value. So you don't have to have the specific experience in the role that you want to do. You just have to be results focused. You need to be results focused and you need to know how you can use the experience that you have already in order to get the results. And when I'm talking about the results, I'm talking about the results that are required for the role. So when you are being hired, you're being hired for a reason. A company has that position open for a reason. What is it that they're trying to achieve? When you are crystal clear and understand what it is that they're trying to achieve, and then you know how you can help them achieve it, then whether or not you have specific experience doing that exact same role is less important. If you can demonstrate that, yeah, I might not have that specific experience, but I do have this, this, and this, and I have these transferable skills, and I can tell you how this will translate, and you can make it really plain, really easy for them to understand, then you not having specific experience in that role is not as big of a deal. But you have to be in a position to be able to do that. You have to be in a position to really understand what is the result that they're trying to get to in order for you to articulate why you would be a good hire. And before you can even say what is the result, you yourself need to know what type of role you're going for. So if you are in a place where you're confused and you're not sure what the next step should be, then your focus really now shouldn't be, they're not going to hire me, because we don't really know what role we want to apply for. So we shouldn't even be thinking about looking at job boards, looking at potential opportunities yet. Because first we need to decide, what is it that I'm going for? What is it that I want to be doing? So that you're then in a position to say, okay, I know what it is I'm going for. Now let me position myself for those opportunities. So I really want to encourage you to kind of stop with the negative self-talk and really think about, what stage in the process am I? If I am saying I want to move, I want to make a change in my career, I want to be in a position where I experience job satisfaction, what stage are you at? Are you in a place where I'm still completely confused about what it is I would do? I don't even know if I want to stay or if I want to go. I don't even know if I want to stay within my industry and do something slightly different, or I don't know if I want a complete change. If you're in that space, then you need to stay there, but really take some time to figure out what the next move is. If you're in the place where it's like, okay, I have established what it is I want to do, and now I'm out in the marketplace, putting myself out there and looking at opportunities, and I just feel like they won't hire me because it doesn't seem like I meet the job spec, then it's about understanding, how do I take the experience that I have already and articulate my value and what it is I can bring to the table in a way that is attractive and compelling. So it may be that you're focusing at the wrong stage, and that's got you in the place where you're feeling like, I just can't move. So I want to encourage you to really think about, okay, like, where is it that I am? How can I better talk to myself about what I'm able to do? And then what do I need to do now? Like, what steps do I need to take moving forward? And so when you're looking at this, just really going beyond the surface level, because oftentimes we stay at the surface level, even with ourselves, where we're just saying, okay, this is how I feel, this is what I'm thinking, and then we just stop there. But ask yourself, is that really what it is? Or is there something beneath what it is that I'm saying? So when I'm saying, they won't hire me, that's why I'm not making a move, is that really the case? Is that really what's holding you back? And really asking yourself that can help you to uncover what is holding you back, so you can address it and you can move forward. Because what we don't want is you to just be stuck and not be in a position where you're making moves and moving forward in some way, shape or form there. But yeah, I think it's just important for us to take stock and take some time, because when I'm speaking to this person who was saying, I just don't think that they will hire me, the next thing that was mentioned was confidence. There's a lack of confidence around, being able to put yourself out there and be able to move forward. And sometimes we're waiting for, that feeling of confidence to just come. Like, when I feel confident, I will then take action. But the reality is, confidence comes through doing. Confidence comes through taking action. When you do things, the more you do them, the more confident you feel in your ability to do them. So if you are stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing something you've never done before, you're not going to feel confident out the gate. You're just not. It's going to take time. So if you're just waiting for that confidence, then it's not coming. Like, you need to take some action so that you can build that confidence. That's why people often refer to building confidence, because it is built. It's not something that you just get. You don't just receive confidence out of nowhere. It takes through taking action, and that confidence comes step by step by step. So I hope that's helpful for you. I want you to stop saying that it's not possible for you. Start talking to yourself more positively. And if you're really feeling like, okay, yeah, I get that, I do need to speak to myself more positively, but I really don't know what it is I want to do next, then I would invite you to book a call with me. So if you go to lightboxcoaching.com/academy, I'm speaking to people at the moment about potentially joining my group coaching program, which is designed to really help you go through step by step by step, going from I'm confused about what it is I want to do, to identifying what it is, and then understanding how to package your experience in a way that is compelling and in a way that you don't feel like you have to completely, throw out all of the experience you had before in order for you to move into a slightly different role or working in a different way. And so the program is about taking you step by step through the process. So if that sounds like something that you need, and that's something that you think will be helpful right now, having that support, having that accountability, and knowing exactly what you need to do in the right order, then book a call. Let's have a chat. It's just about us determining whether or not the program's a good fit for you, whether you're a good fit for the program. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Career Changemaker podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love for you to let me know what your biggest takeaway has been. So head over to Instagram, tag me at Career Changemaker, and let me know your thoughts. What did you like most about today's episode? I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, keep working towards your career goals, and we will speak very, very soon.